What seems to be the problem, officer?
Excuse me, it's Officer Boss Daddy to you. I'm here because a neighbor filed a noise complaint, and I was coming over to shut this down.
Noise complaint? By a neighbor? Which neighbor was it? I bet it was Eleanor. Was it Eleanor? Eleanor has been on one lately.
Actually, the noise complaint came within this house.
So is Comair, Alexa. Got it.
Yep. Now what kind of monkey business is going on inside there?
Well, to celebrate today's Elite 117 Naomi and glow test, I figured why not have a blacklight glow party, and that's what I'm doing today. And, sorry you didn't get the invite, but you just don't glow.
Well, so what? I might not glow, but I sure as heck can party. What, is everyone else inside there?
No. Unfortunately, most of you LJV crew members, well, y'all don't glow, so you can't come to my party. But there is one, a very special LJV resident that does glow. Now, if you don't mind, leave us alone!
What was that all about, Mayor Aaron?
Nothing to worry about. In the words of Kesha, the Popo are trying to shut us down. But you know what? This party won't stop. I woke up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. Anyway, DJ, play my song.
Why, oh why, oh why, oh why.
Okay, not that song. Play the other one.
Shut up and give me some more punch.
Yeah, whatever you say, Judge Jade, just don't hurt me. Hey y'all, welcome to LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. Now before we get started, I just remind you to please hit subscribe to become an official resident of LJV and get a first look at all future women's wrestling figure reviews like today's Elite Series 117 Naomi. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to review this figure. Now I always get excited when there's new women's wrestling figures released that I can review. But this Naomi is special, and the reason being is if you go all the way back to the Elite Series 78 Naomi Chase, that was probably my personal favorite figure of all time. And I think a big reasoning is I am colorblind. I have trouble with colors. But fluorescent, bright, neon, glowing colors have always been easy for me to see. And I remember it was a couple years back, and when I reviewed it, I was just smiling the whole time. I loved everything about that figure. It just meant a lot to me. So I'm excited because this one looks like it might glow like that Elite 78 Chase and even the standard edition, some features. But either way, I am super, super excited to review this figure. I'm also going to be giving away an Elite 117 Naomi right here in LumberJillville. Details will come this weekend at the time of this review, so stay tuned to the channel community tab. But yeah, not only are we going to review this Naomi, but we are also going to see if it glows like me. Look how fluorescent I am. And yeah, I turned the figure backward not to spoil it. So as far as the packaging goes, I just covered it in the Elite 117 Rhea Ripley review. And what I covered, and I've covered it time and time again since they made the switch to this limited window size, I'm just not a fan of the packaging overall. I don't like that we have a limited view of the figure itself. But also the cardboard is super cheap, super flimsy. I mean, it is wacky. Now we are going to look at how this figure looks mint on card. But before we do that, I just have to show you something here. So I have 3 of these. I'm going to be doing a giveaway for one. This one, the hair looks great. Okay. Now these other 2, look at this. Look at this other 2. We have the hair is off to the side, looking kind of bizarre. And then we have this one where the hair is completely covering her eyes. So keep that in mind if you order this figure online. I got 2 wonky hair placements out of the 3. So I'm going to do a giveaway for one of these 2. And I hate that they're not perfect as far as the hair placement goes. But let me know in the comments which one you want to be in the giveaway. Either A or B. But that's something important to note because those other 2 look weird. I don't know if the hair moves at all. But I digress. Looking at the packaging here, bright fluorescent Naomi. Looks like she's going to glow with a black light and also in the dark. Glow in the dark. So we're going to test both of those out later. We have an image of the stunning, beautiful, and talented Naomi on the front. The legendary Naomi. She is a true legend. We have the series number, her name. We have Naomi on the side. And then we have her name on that side. And on the back, it says the Royal Rumble 2024 crowd felt the glow once again as Naomi made her highly anticipated return to WWE. And that is right. That is what this attire is from. And once again, just like the Rhea Ripley, they actually put on the back of the package what the attire is from, have an image of the attire, and then a little blurb saying what it's from, which is funny because Mattel has been doing that as of late, whereas AEW stopped doing that. But yeah, they are spot on there. So I'm going to cut the tape, slide this out. Let's take a closer look. Yo, I am just smiling ear to ear. I love this. WWE Elite Series 117 Naomi. This attire is from the 2024 Royal Rumble Premium Live event, which took place on January 27th of that year. On this night, Naomi would be the second entrant of the Women's Royal Rumble, making her exciting return back to WWE. She would go on to last an hour and 2 minutes before being eliminated by Jade Cargill. And just like the Elite 78 Chase Naomi, I am just smiling ear to ear. Like I said, I don't know if it's because I'm colorblind, and I've always been attracted to like neon colors, but this figure, oh my god, this is amazing. Holy crap. Now, obviously what really stands out is that robe. Now, does the robe glow under black light and also under darkness? We'll find out later. I will put the robe back on her later in the review when we do the glow test, so stay tuned. But this figure is, I don't even have words to say my first impressions of this figure. I mean, my heart is happy. My eyes are happy from what I see, and it just looks freaking fantastic. So her hands are semi-open. She also comes with closed fist hands, which I probably will put on her, so she's pumping her fist in the air. Now, those are the only accessories, but the main accessory, oh my gosh, is this fuzzy jacket that has so much, I have to take a pause. It has so much quality here that I am absolutely blown away. It is multi-layered, so the outside is fuzzy, but the inside has this fabric that might be, there we go, you can kind of see it on camera there, has this fabric inside there that's very, very nice. Very good material there. And the fur itself is perfect. It is all throughout. And then we have these stars that are kind of screen printed on. Very, very cool. I'm interested to see if those glow as well. Now, what's cool about this robe is you can throw the hood up and over her head, like when she comes out. That is super, super awesome. Now, I mentioned something earlier. I said this could be the best soft goods we've ever gotten with a women's wrestling figure. Yes, I 1000% agree with that. This is the best soft goods piece we have ever gotten with a women's wrestling figure. Yeah, that Asuka robe was amazing that came with her Ultimate Edition, but this one, to me, it takes a cake. The quality of it, the multi-layers, the all the different colors, the neon yellow going up around the hood, around the trim, around the sleeves, the green stars. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic, to the point where you need to have this figure in hand to truly appreciate this jacket. I'm trying to do the best job I can of covering it, but honestly, it's one of those things you have to have it in hand to truly appreciate how freaking amazing it is. Now, how easy or hard it is to take off, I'm guessing it's pretty easy because we have that fabric on the inside. Yeah, so you might want to pop her arms off before you slide it off, which I'll actually put closed fist hands on her. It'll make it easier for the jacket to come on and off, and there we go. But yeah, this jacket, as you can see, I could probably make a whole review just on this entrance robe here. I mean, I am absolutely at a loss of words. Holy moly. Now, we will bring this back later in the review, and we will see how it glows. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The likeness here is perfect. As far as the face sculpt, face scan, and hair sculpt goes, absolutely stunning, spot on representation of Naomi. It looks just like her, and I have to say, if you look at her previous elites, and you look at them up close, which we will do later, those really did not look like Naomi. And most of Naomi's figures, if not all of Naomi's other figures, did not look like Naomi in the face whatsoever. It was bizarre. But here we have a spot on sculpt. The scan is amazing. And on top of that, look at the detail. The detail in the eye makeup there. The detail in the lip gloss that has sparkle to it. The big smile that they gave her. I mean, this is just the ultimate face scan in sculpt. Not Ultimate Edition, but a super awesome face scan sculpt. It is amazing. Now, the hair sculpt, as I mentioned on the other two Naomis I got, the hair sculpt was on her head off center. It was weird. It's covering her eyes in one of them. So I'm not sure how that happened, and I'm not going to open it up because I'm going to give away one of those. But you'll have to let me know in the comments which one you want me to give away, because, yeah, this one is on perfectly. But it's important to note, if you're getting this figure online, you don't know how the hair is going to come. So maybe wait until you can get it in stores or get on eBay and look at a good hair placement. Now, the hair itself is freaking stunning. Are you ready for this? On the front, we have the bangs with the black and the neon, and then we turn the figure around. Oh, my goodness. We have Naomi in her hair, just like it was on that night at the Royal Rumble. And it doesn't look cheap. It honestly is painted on in a pretty realistic way, where we see some black strands coming through just like it was. And overall, it looks amazing. And it's one of those things that if they decided to do this and they made it look too clean, it would look wonky. But here, in my opinion, it looks absolutely perfect. I mean, as far as the face sculpt, face scan, and hair sculpt goes, this is my all-time favorite head on a women's wrestling figure. But like I said, you have to make sure that you get one that has the hair on correctly. So moving on down to the body sculpt, once again, super amazing detail, amazing care, and amazing execution of a really unique attire to her. We have a lot of sculpted detail here that is unique to Naomi. And on top of that, the attire that they went with could have gone one of two ways. It could have looked really, really bad, or it could have came out with the right amount of detail, the right amount of sculpting, and the right amount of care, and that's what we got here. And it looks absolutely freaking fantastic. And I am under the impression that it is going to glow. I'm actually going to turn my brightness up on my light. We're going to charge it up as we review it, so that later it might glow even better in the dark. So yeah, body part choices, excellent here. The attire itself, perfect. Now let's take a closer look, and let's start with the top. So if we look at her top here, it is a uniquely sculpted top here with the straps on the side sculpted. The star in the middle is sculpted. The little collar going around her neck is sculpted. It says glow. The arm sleeves are completely painted on, but the paint application is very detailed, very clean. We even have openings there that match her skin tone. We even have fishnets kind of painted at the top of those arm sleeves. The midsection looks amazing. It's not just a painted over bare midriff that we get, the Victoria's Secret body paint as I called it. It's actually sculpted to show that there is material. It is a one-piece type singlet, and it really does give that appearance. It looks great. We have little folds sculpted throughout there. And then moving on around the back, okay, that's something I didn't expect. And I'm not trying to be weird. You know, I keep things professional here in LumberJillville. But they did pronounce her backside. And I don't think they've ever really done that with Mattel. So in the past with the Mandy Rose basic, they kind of painted like half a cheek on the bottom of her bottom sculpt. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. But here we have a uniquely sculpted backside that not only is with that, but it also extends the curve of her back. And honestly, I love to see that. Not for any weird ways, but because these women are beautiful in their own unique ways. And Jazzwares has been so awesome at giving us pretty spot on representations of the women. Their shapes, their forms, their physiques. They do a great job replicating that. And Mattel has been lacking. But honestly, with this figure, them going out of their way and giving that extra detail of the pronounced backside, amazing. I did not expect Mattel to ever do this in their women's wrestling figures. So the fact that they did it here, I'm blown away. Absolutely blown away. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, it might seem weird, but I promise I review these figures in a professional way. I have nothing but love and respect for these women, but I truly appreciate their unique physiques, and all of them have amazing, beautiful bodies, and it's really cool that in figure form, when it gets replicated like that. I mean, wow, I did not expect that. So looking at the bottom half here, it is just sculpted on with a black trim. And as I mentioned, it is a little bit more pronounced than most women's wrestling figures. Even part of the cheek, if you will, is painted to go with the leg there. We have fishnets in the middle of the thigh. And then we have these sleeves that go down into her boots with kick pads that have a black star around the knee. And it says glow. Oh my gosh. Look at this. And then we have black boots underneath those kick pads in appearance. And then we have pink trim on the boots. Wow, y'all. Wow. Overall, as far as the body sculpt and attire goes, perfect. Absolutely amazing. All right, so this is my happy place. 3 women's wrestling figures in front of me in fluorescent neon colors. This is awesome. I absolutely love these 3 figures together. But honestly, today's figure is the best representation of Naomi. Now, I loved Elite Series 78. On the far left, we have the standard release, which has a really, really cool attire. Also comes with the glow title, which is very unique and cool. And then this jacket. Now, the Chase version is my previous favorite figure of all time, and I think it's just because of the attire. I mean, I love Naomi, I respect her so much, but the attire is just so bright and vivid, and it all glows, and she also comes with the title, and she does come with the jacket too, but I like to display this one without it. She also has gold on her boots. And then we have today's. So yeah, all 3 of these Naomis are absolutely amazing. Now, I'm not sure how much these go for online. I bet you the Chase might be a little hard to obtain. I do have, actually, let me grab it. When I first started collecting mint on card women's wrestling figures, which I started having a couple, MOC along the way, I had to get the Chase MOC. And I had it in a protector for a long time. It's not signed or anything, but this was my favorite figure of all time. I just love everything about it. I just love how bright it is, how vibrant it is, the detail of the hair, the gold in the shoes, the title, the jacket. I just love this figure so much, and I still do. But after comparing these 3, and especially considering I don't even have the robe on this Naomi, which we're going to change that here in the next section. But yeah, I think today's Naomi is the end-all, be-all Naomi. And it's going to be hard to ever make a Naomi better than this one, in my opinion. But these 2 other ones are really, really cool. And this Elite Chase, Elite 78 Chase, will always have a special place in my heart because of how much I love that, how much fun I had reviewing that figure. But comparing the 3, today's is by far the best. Now, actually, I'm going to show you real quick so y'all don't think I'm crazy. So, taking this glow title off, which does glow, very, very cool. I'll show you what I mean earlier. If you look at the backsides of the 2 Naomis, they are drastically different. This is just a generic backside bottom that they used. And here we have a unique one that is brand new. Super, super crazy here. Super, super cool. But yeah, so with that being said, I think I'm ready for a glow test. How about y'all? It is time, everybody, for the glow test, we're going to do two different methods of glow, if you will. We're going to use this UV black light, turn off all the lights, turn on the UV black light, see what lights up on the jacket, on the attire, on the face. And then we're going to charge her up with some light, and we're going to take her in the closet in the pitch black and see if she just glows in the dark naturally after being charged. So here we go. I'm going to power on the black light, as you can see there. And in 3, 2, 1, we are going to turn off the main light. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God. Holy crap. She glows under a black light unbelievably well. The jacket. So the dark green stars on the jacket don't glow under a black light. That is important to note. But that's okay. The trim of the jacket, the neon, really glows awesome. Look at the pink on her shoes. They're light up. Oh my gosh. I am smiling ear to ear. Look at the shoes. Now the attire underneath, I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't look like it glows under a black light too well. So we have been proven that this jacket does glow under a black light, everybody. So let's take this jacket off. Maybe. And let's look at her attire under a black light. Okay, so the attire under a black light itself, it's a little bizarre. So what I mean by that is if you look at the plastic connectors of the elbow, really lit up. The knee, the middle of the knee, really, really lit up. The bottoms of her feet, really lit up. But the rest of the attire, unfortunately, really doesn't glow that well under a black light. Now, because it is a fluorescent neon type green, it is visible and it looks good, but it doesn't glow or pop as well as I thought it would. Now, the hair, let's look at the hair. The hair. Okay, so the hair glows pretty well under the black light. But as you can see, you can really see it on the back. That knee piece in the middle in the connector there, also the elbow in the connector. So whatever plastic that is really that fluorescent UV active plastic that really looks good under a black light. But I'm wondering if the attire was mostly made to actually glow in the dark after being charged, because that's kind of the tone it is. But either way, under a black light, I would suggest putting her with that coat on, that robe, because the robe is unbelievable under a black light. Now let me bring out the chase. See, and as you can see with the Elite 78 chase Naomi, her whole attire, even her hair, look at that hair, how vibrant it stands out there, is black light active paint. I don't know if that's the right term, but the paint on this attire is meant to be activated by a black light. It all glows all over the place, even the paint on her hair. Now, the standard version, now she's glowing, it's funny. The standard version, not so much, but the title belt in the jacket does. So I've done a glow test with these two in the past, so you can watch the previous review, but I just wanted to show you how this chase really does glow amazing in Elite 78. And today's doesn't glow that amazing under the black light, but if you put on this jacket, it makes all the difference in the world. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to blast this figure, mostly that midsection piece, with a mag light and also some other light. And we're going to run in the closet in complete darkness and see if it glows. Bear with me. All right, so I've been charging Naomi up here, doing the old flashlight shine to see if she glows in the actual dark here without any type of UV black light. So she should be charged up and ready to go. Let's turn off the light. Okay, so it doesn't appear that she glows whatsoever in the dark, but it's interesting because off to the side, this is that Chase Elite 78 Naomi, and her attire does actually glow in the dark. and it retains the charge. So whatever paint they used on this Naomi Chase was perfect, because not only is it reactive to blacklight, but it actually glows in the dark when it's charged up. And that is a little disappointing that today's figure actually does not glow in the dark whatsoever. So what I would say is that this Naomi is UV light compliant, I guess you could say. She looks great under a black light, and it's mostly because this jacket, but as far as actually glowing in the dark, she does not actually glow in the dark, which is a bit disappointing, especially considering the title, Elite 78 Chase, does. So that's a little bizarre, but for a positive note here, let's just, yeah, that's what we're talking about, yeah. And some of you might say, well, hey, that attire is not meant to actually glow in the dark. It's meant to react to a black light. Then it should be brighter, just like it is on the knees, on the soles of her shoes, and also in her elbows, which we can't see now. So it should be brighter. So whatever paint they used was not the same that they used on the previous Glow Naomi. So that's a little disappointing, to be completely honest with you, but at least it looks pretty good under a black light. Alright, so overall, I give WWE Elite Series 117 Naomi an overall score of a perfect 10 out of 10. And I am scoring it based on the figure alone. The glow feature, in my opinion, is kind of an addition, a bonus, if you will, and we'll get to that. But the figure itself is absolutely stunning. The sculpting work that they put on this figure, not just in the unique attire, but the backside, the shape that they gave her body, that we don't see Mattel do much with the women's wrestling figures. The fact that they did that is absolutely fantastic. The soft goods here is the absolute best soft goods we've ever gotten with a women's wrestling figure, maybe even wrestling figure in general. This is absolutely amazing. The likeness is perfect. The detail in the hair, the face, absolutely amazing. Now, I said we're going to talk about the glow because I'll be honest, a little disappointed with the glow. Now, as you can see with the black light, the jacket glows and parts of her knee and parts of her elbow glow, but the attire really doesn't pop under the black light, and that's just weird to me. That's just weird, in my opinion. I wish they would have used the same paint that they used on the Chase Elite 78 Naomi for her body attire. And I thought, okay, maybe they used a paint on her attire that is going to absorb light better and glow in the actual dark more. And it does not glow in the dark at all. So really the only glow features that this figure has is under a black light. So that's a little disappointing considering you can probably see it up there. Elite Series 78, the Chase, not only did it glow under a black light, the whole attire, the top and the bottom, but when you charged it up with light and put it in the dark, it glowed. And I was really expecting this figure to do that. And that, to me, is disappointing. Now, it doesn't take away from the overall score because this figure is perfect. Like I said, the glow feature, in my opinion, is a bonus. However, did this Naomi top Elite 78 Chase version as Mayor Aaron's personal favorite figure of all time? It did not. It did not, because when I reviewed this figure, I was just smiling ear to ear. I couldn't believe that it glowed under a black light, that it glowed when it was charged and in the dark. And this figure, I expected it to glow in the dark, and it did not. It only glowed under a black light, and even when it does glow under a black light, you can see certain parts kind of stick out. It's kind of disappointing. But overall, I think this is Naomi's best figure. I think it's in contention for best women's wrestling figure of all time. I mean, if they got the glow thing right with the paint application on the attire that actually glowed in the dark, then I think this would possibly top Kairi Sane, the Kairi Sane most recent Elite that came out for the best women's wrestling figure of all time. However, Elite 78 Chase Naomi is still Mayor Aaron's favorite wrestling figure of all time, but this one is truly one of the all-time best. Alright, so I was ready to film my outro and I noticed something in the background. So the first custom I ever did here in LumberJillville was this Lana. When Lana was teaming with Naomi, she wore glow attire, and I used glow paint, and look how that pops. Even her eyeshadow is popping under the black light. Like, this is how the Elite 117 Naomi's attire should glow, but it just doesn't. So, there you go. That looks cool. I didn't expect that, so that just caught my attention in the background there. But anyway, thanks for stopping by LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. To get a first look at all future women's wrestling figure reviews, make sure to hit subscribe and become an official resident of LJV today. Now, the next women's wrestling figure review on schedule is WWE Main Event Series 156, the Standard and the Chase Chelsea, I can't do that, green, and I'm super excited to review those figures. So those should, cross your fingers, should be to LumberJillville Friday, so hopefully Saturday night I will have the review up. So I hope you had fun today. I appreciate you watching, and have a great night, y'all.